Hi, meteorologist Matthew East here with you. This is the Tuesday, November 10th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Obviously, the big story is Ida and the rains from Ida pulling on into the area. This is going to be a major rain event for a lot of real estate across the southeastern part of the country. And I'll show you what I'm expecting here in the Carolinas as this video unfolds. Let's go to the radar this morning, and this is the radar shot from 5:30 this morning. Ida making landfall very soon there near the Alabama and Mississippi state line. Now notice on the south side of the circulation there's hardly any rain left at all. All the rain is concentrated to the north of the center, and I think with time that trend will continue. So some heavy rain really blanketing much of Alabama. This is the Birmingham, Alabama NexRad site this morning, and that is just heavy tropical rains covering much of that state. Now let's talk about what's going to unfold here. First of all, let's go back to the regional shot. There again, notice pretty light rain around the Carolinas, but the rain is going to be getting steadier and steadier with time. I want to show you a couple of different model plots here, and still some disagreements, even though we're really right here in the short term with how this event unfolds. Let's start off with a look at the GFS model, and this is the GFS valid 2 this afternoon. Notice the rain spreading on in. This is 8 p.m. and the rain really settling in now across much of the Carolinas. Let's go on out to tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. and the rain really focused its heaviest from North Georgia through the upstate of South Carolina and the western Piedmont up into the mountains of North Carolina. And then we see that band of heavy rain on the GFS gradually easing eastward. But this is at 8 o'clock in the evening Wednesday. So it's a slow movement. And again, on the GFS, this low really begins to take shape offshore. Notice a lot of winds with this. The pressure gradient pretty tight there. And this is 8 o'clock Wednesday morning. Still rain around. And 8 p.m. the rain still heaviest along the coast, but still some showers even in the western Piedmont. So this is what this is the 6Z run. This is what the 6Z GFS does in terms of rain amounts. And I know this is probably a little tough to see. When you get into that shade of red, that's where you get into 3-inch amounts, and that pretty much covers the entire state. You get up into the yellows, and that's when you start getting up to 5 and upwards from there in terms of inches of rain. So the GFS indicating a major rain event. Now let's go to the NAM. The NAM, remember yesterday the NAM had no rain for a lot of the Carolinas from this. Well, it's coming around a bit. This is 8 o'clock this evening, the rain spreading on in. Rain certainly heaviest on the NAM across Georgia, South Carolina, and to southern North Carolina through tonight. And then the rain pushes eastward with time. Tomorrow we go on out on the NAM here to 8 o'clock Thursday morning. It's certainly heavy rain along the coast and not a whole lot lingering back in the western Piedmont. So the NAM quicker in getting the rain out of here and lighter with the rain amounts. That is the NAM total output for rain through the next 60 hours. And it's certainly a soaking rain, like the Triad has a good 1 to 2 inch rain event, a little heavier in Charlotte, and certainly heavier down around Wilmington into the Outer Banks. This is what the HPC does, the Hydrometeorological Prediction Center. This is what they put out, and they'll update this a little later on this morning, but this is the latest chart I have as I'm cutting this video. And they are sort of in agreement with the NAM model in terms of the overall precipitation output. Myself, I'm actually leaning a little bit more toward the GFS. It seems to me the GFS is handling the features better, and I think its idea of, as we get into tonight, the heavy rain in the mountains to the foothills to the western Piedmont, that's probably correct as we get that upslope flow going. Now that might not be correct. The details are still up in the air, but I lean toward the GFS scenario. And this looks like a major rain event for the Charlotte and the Triad zones. We could easily be talking about 3 or 4 inches of rain, and if it lingers into Thursday, like some modeling is indicating, we might pick up upwards of 5 inches in some spots. Now, of course, along the coast, it's going to be pretty heavy as well. So this looks like a good soaking 2, 3, 4, maybe 5-inch rain event for a lot of real estate across the Carolinas. That could cause some flooding problems. It's spread out over a wide period of time. The ground can take a lot of water, but if we start seeing some of those 5-inch rain totals, that's going to be a problem in some spots. Now let's talk about the wind aspect. Not a lot of wind today, but let me show you this. This is courtesy of rightweather.com. As we get now to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, you start seeing the winds picking up, and this is in knots, and we start seeing winds anywhere from 15 to 20 knots here across the Piedmont tomorrow morning, and they get even heavier as the day unfolds tomorrow as we start seeing some 20-25 knot winds mixing in. Thursday morning, still quite breezy across the Piedmont. Thursday evening, the wind subsiding a bit, but still a lot of breezy northeasterly winds. So I think tonight, tomorrow, into Thursday, we're going to see winds sustain 15, 20, 25 miles an hour, gusts to 35, maybe even higher at times. And as the ground gets saturated, it's very possible that we could see some trees coming down if we do get those heavier rain amounts to materialize around the area. So a lot to talk about. Dynamic storm system moving through. You want to keep it tuned to News 14 Carolina on television. We're going to keep you completely up to date, and we'll walk you through the storm as we go through the next 48 hours. Looks like a big ticket item here, some heavy rain, some wind, and if you like the weather, sort of a fun event to follow, but we hope we don't have any of the really nasty adverse effects that you can get with any flooding or trees coming down. So that's it for today's edition of the video. Next edition should be posted bright and early Wednesday morning. Have a great Tuesday, stay dry, and God bless.